just goes for the pussy.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
What is up, guys? And today I am finally bringing to you my fucking Las Vegas Grand Prix vlog. This is going to be a little bit different than usual, mainly because I'm in the wrong setup, and let me tell you why that is. Today I was getting my setup ready for the other room, my vlog setup like normal with a Nintendo chair, and I had my really expensive main camera on a small tripod so I could film Fan Service Friday and like shoot up at my ass to get like the perfect angle for my ass, right? And I was pulling on something and a cord was wrapped around it. It knocked it over and it broke off the little latch that you have to close in order for it to work, that where you put in like the SD card, the memory card, and then you close that and then the camera turns on. So I have to send it into Canon. It's probably going to cost me a couple $100, if not more, because it's my fault this time because I just broke it. So that's why I'm filming at my stream setup. By the way, guys, I'm back streaming, so if you guys want to check that out, twitch.tv/tarababcock. This video, I am fully aware, is going to be very long, so don't get discouraged if you see the title like Magic the Gathering or something and you're like, I don't play or understand what Magic the Gathering even is. This is not going to be entirely about the game or about the event Grand Prix Las Vegas. And to circumvent anyone who doesn't want to watch any of the Magic bullshit or any of the specific other bullshit that's going to be in this very, very long video, I'm going to be pinning a top comment that has all of the different timestamps for the different topics we're going to be talking about today, and I have them listed in my phone, so we're not going to fuck up. It's not going to be confusing. I'm going to have everything succinctly laid out as much as I possibly can in a verbose, ranty, long-winded vlog like this. So if you haven't caught on yet, this isn't going to be a regular daily vlog where I just take you around with Vlad and show you what it was like at the convention center and what I did and stuff like that. There's going to be a little bit of that footage, but mostly I just didn't take that much footage there. I actually took most of the footage on day one. I did an intro, and then the last day when I had almost nothing to do because Jay didn't want to play in any more side events, Jay and I walked around and took a little bit of footage of the place that I'm just gonna put over my talking at a certain point in the video where it makes sense, because I don't know, nothing's really, I'm not talking to the camera. I'm just kind of showing you guys around the venue so you guys can get a feel for what a Magic Grand Prix looks like. So the first topic we're gonna be talking about is the game of Magic the Gathering. I'm gonna tell you about the Grand Prix, what I felt about it, what my experience was, and we're gonna be comparing and contrasting the Magic scene from Seattle compared to what I experienced last weekend, which was like night and day difference. So first of all, for those of you who don't know, Magic the Gathering is a trading card game. It is arguably, almost objectively, the best trading card game ever in existence. Some people like Yu-Gi-Oh better, but those people are 12. I've been playing Magic for 5 years, but for the last 2 years, I haven't played at all. Basically, since I moved to Vegas, and a little bit before that, I kind of just quit Magic for an amalgam of a bunch of different reasons, but I've always missed it, and I always consider it the game that if I ever did go pro or competitive in any kind of game, if I did have the time to invest into it and the ability to do so, it would be Magic the Gathering. I used to think that it would be StarCraft because I love StarCraft so much. I love watching it. It's a great spectator sport, and it is so much fun, but my fingers are just not fast enough, I'm not dexterous enough, and I feel like that holds me back a lot, whereas I have a high opinion of my brain, even though I'm not the greatest at math and things like that. I just feel like the strategy in Magic the Gathering is amazing. Playing paper Magic in real life against real people is just so exhilarating and fun when you crush them, or when you have a good experience with them. It's just so much fun to me. Collecting the cards is fun, foiling out decks, playing the top meta decks and trying to see how good you can do in competitive tournaments. Just playing it competitively is my shit. I'm not into Commander, I'm not into casual Magic, I don't brew stuff. Jay brews stuff, but he's competitive, so it's a little bit different for him. He actually likes to win with his own decks that he brewed. I personally don't feel like I could ever invest enough time to make a good enough brew. Back 5 years ago when I started, up until like 3 years ago when I quit for a while, I was playing Magic often, 6 times a week. We would go to drafts, we would go to PPTQs or PTQs back when that was a thing, before the PPTQs and the RPTQs, and then, you know what I mean. I played a lot of fucking Magic. I top 8'd a bunch of stuff. My biggest top 8 I think it was States in Seattle. Yeah, it was like a tournament of like 1,000 people or 2,000 people. I used to go to Friday Night Magic every week. I would play in 2 back-to-back events. I would usually do like Modern and Standard or Standard and Limited. In Seattle, they have this gigantic store called Mox, and before that, they had really homey stores that had a lot of attendance to the point where like the walls were filled. Like there were so many people. We never didn't fire an event. So I was really excited about this event because I missed Magic so fucking much. It's around Jay's birthday. It's here in Vegas. It's It's one of the biggest GPs, one of the ones that most people come to. We had, I think, 15 people at least from Seattle that I knew from Magic flying in. It was gonna be like a ton of fun. We get to show people our plays, then I get to drive to the event. I'm playing Modern, Merfolk. My deck is right here. I will show you guys my deck. And I was very excited, and it didn't disappoint. I had a great experience the entire weekend, despite there being some weird fuck-ups with the event coordination. So here is the intro to the vlog I never actually finished. Hello. I'm going to Magic. It's the Las Vegas GP. Oh yeah, it's Modern. Gonna be playing in the main event. Jay is as well.
Fuck, I brought my sunglasses. You want them?
Nope. We haven't played Magic in like 2 years, so yeah. I also don't know how much of this I'm gonna film. I was gonna vlog the whole thing. We're at the Las Vegas Convention Center, by the way. And my butt. But I'm not feeling in the mood because I keep getting strikes, and who knows? Maybe this will all be in vain. I don't know. Maybe you guys like watching this. Welcome to Magic Nerd Paradise, an event in Las Vegas. I wish they had these like every weekend. Then I would like fully get back into Magic. This is my outfit. Slipknot. And my Pikachu backpack. Alright, I'll show you around once we get there. The Las Vegas GP is kind of a little bit bigger than other GPs. It's a 4-day event instead of a 3-day event, and it has 2 different main events. This one had Modern and Sealed or something like that, and I fucking hate Limited, so I don't play Limited much unless I have to. Modern was my shit. I had most of Merfolk made up already. And so Thursday I spent just playing with Jay. I hadn't played a single fucking game of Magic. Jay was playing Jund, and he didn't have most of the deck, so we were waiting on a lot of people from Seattle to come in and bring the deck, or at least like half of the deck. So I spent Thursday making sure I had no more proxies, and I was practicing with some of my Seattle friends who had finally come in. One of which was Wesley. You guys might remember him from back when he was in my videos a lot. But yeah, let me show you my deck. So I got this deck from Wesley. Wesley told me about some guy who is like the Merfolk authority in Modern, and he's like a YouTuber or something. And so I was like, okay, I'll just, you know, copy this deck list. And basically it's the same thing as mine, except for he took out a bunch of like really dumb shit that I had in there, including like Thassa. I don't really know why I had Thassa in mine. I think it was just because of my strong urge to reminisce about my favorite time in Standard, which was the Ravnica Theros block when I was playing Mono Blue Devotion with Thassa. I foiled out a lot of my deck on Thursday. I didn't even know if I was gonna actually get back into Magic really, but I got stuff like foil Silvergill Adepts, which you can't see for some reason. I did happen to get all of the Mutavaults from my friends. I was like, can I use your Mutavault? And everyone's just giving them to me because I didn't really care about them. Oh, and the $35 cards were actually the 3 Lords of Atlantis that I got in foil, and I didn't get the 4th because they didn't have the 4th, and also because my 4th is in German, and the only thing that supersedes foil cards for me is German foreign cards, and obviously German foreign foil cards, if that, I don't even think I have any of those. I have foil Master of the Waves, I have foil Spreading Seas, so like a lot of this is foiled out. And I will link my deck list down in the description so you guys can see what I played. I personally, throughout the events, didn't really like Harbinger of the Tides. It just felt like it was kind of dead to a lot of stuff and a little too slow because Harbinger is the one where I have to pay if I want to flash it in, right? Foil Curse Catchers too. That's always cool. Yeah, Harbinger is the one where you pay 2 more to cast it if you want to flash it in. And obviously it's possible for you to flash it in with Aether Vial, but when, I don't know, I just always felt like I wanted to put my Lords in to trick people into like chumping stuff. So I did play terribly, and I probably don't have a very good grasp on Modern going into this tournament because I hadn't played in 2 years at all. And I had played less than 10 actual events of Modern in my entire life. I got into it like near the end of my career as a Magic player. So I was a little bit unprepared and feeling a little bit anxious because for me, going into a big tournament that's competitive REL, meaning rules enforcement level is competitive, not just like Standard who gives a fuck bullshit, ooh, I made a mistake, let me take it back. It's like, no, you get warnings and game losses. So I was thinking like, fuck, I need to brush up on my Modern. I don't know any of the decks. I don't remember what Affinity does. I don't remember what Storm does. I haven't played against half of these decks. The only one I know is Jund because I've been playing against Jay, and that's like a terrible matchup for me, like most things are. Merfolk's not a very good deck right now. But I want to play Merfolk because it doesn't fetch a lot, and that's just what I wanted to play. It's my style. Playing blue in a way that's not entirely just removal and control. I like to play blue kind of offensively. It's really fun for me, and the Lords, it's just fun. It's fun math. So I was like, fuck it. I'm not taking this too seriously. There's no fucking way I'm winning a GP after not playing for 2 years. So Thursday, we were playtesting, hung out with friends a little bit, which I'll get to later, and then the next day, we wake up and the event's supposed to start, and Jay and I are like 20 minutes out of the city, and we're gonna be fucking late. We didn't put our deck lists online, which is a cool thing that they do now, I guess. You can just like register your deck list online. And I'm like texting our friend Casey because Jay doesn't have all his cards yet because the guy who was supposed to bring the cards like fell through and we didn't see him that night. So as per usual, Jay and I are rushing to the venue, hoping to get in on time. We're like, fuck, we're gonna be late. We're gonna get a fucking game loss, which honestly was the least stressful time for that to happen because every other time previous when something like that had happened to us and we're late, we actually cared a lot more and we thought we were gonna win and it was much bigger of a deal, but this was just kind of like, I want to play Modern. I had no buys because I had no Planeswalker points for the year. We get there, we fill out our deck lists, and I'm like super fast with it. Jay gets his cards, and then we're able to start on time, which happened to be an hour late because they were really uncoordinated with the event. Round 1, I win, all of my friends win. We congregate. It takes a really long time for the next round to start. Next round, I lose. I'm 1-1. Most of my friends are 1-1. And we literally sit there for 2 hours just waiting for the next round to start. And we're thinking like, okay, it's pushing the event back so far that we're going to be playing into like 10 p.m. And then in the morning, we got to be there at 9 a.m. And this is like going to suck. We're not going to be able to hang out. We're not going to be able to do anything fun. Eventually over the intercom, they say like, hey, we are going to give you until X time to drop out of the tournament and get a refund. And I swear to God, they offered a bunch of other stuff like getting free entry into a side event or something like that. But I never took advantage of that. When I asked the chick, when I filled out my refund slip, I was like, can I get a free side event? She's like, oh no, there's nothing else we're offering but a refund. Sorry about that. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So I personally decided to do the refund because I knew I wasn't going to win the GP. I knew I was way too rusty playing a shitty deck. And also my main goal for the entire event is to get a full-size magic card, like the wall poster size magic cards, because I have one on one side out there for my F&M setup and the other side is just completely blank. And I fucking love big wall-sized fucking poster magic cards. For some reason, that's just like a fetish of mine. Anytime I saw them at like pre-releases or at PAX, I'm always like, oh, I want that so fucking bad. Like, oh my God, I'll fucking jizz all over someone's face for it. Like, please just give it to me. And now at GPs, apparently they make it so it's just like 1,000 tickets and they make multiples of it. So it's quite easy to get because they don't just like immediately run out, you know? I need to play side events so I can get tickets, so I can get this thing. And if I can't win enough side events, I'm gonna have Wesley and I'm just gonna fucking pay for all of his tickets, which is what I ended up doing because I'm bad. So at this point, Jay was kind of like, I'm not enjoying Modern that much. I don't know many of the decks. I don't know my own deck that well. I'm really sick of fetching. And I was like getting really depressed at this point because I was like, oh, it's so close to his birthday. It's like 2 days away from his birthday. We're doing this basically revolving around him and his birthday, right? So I can't just be like, well, I want to do this and that and I want to play more Magic. But I was like, okay, let's just play one Modern side event. And I wanted to play 2 back-to-back Modern side events. And I think we did end up doing that day. No, we did 2 on Friday. I don't remember, like my memory is not that great, especially when everything is end capped and pre-capped by drinking and stuff. My memory gets a little fuzzy, but we played, I think, in like 4 side events in the weekend. All Modern side events. Every single time I went 1-2. Every single time. 2 losses, last round, a win. Every single time. It's like anyone even remotely competent and the RNG was just against me to the point where I had to get the dejected last guy who's like, I'm playing a brew in Modern and I don't know what I'm doing, and just like whoop his ass. So every single time I got like 20 points. So I had made myself like 100 points max. Jay was like sometimes 2-1ing, sometimes 1-2ing. Collectively, I think we got like 250 of the tickets toward 1,000 ticket goal of getting what I chose, the wall-sized Chandra. I wanted the Mutavault too, but I feel like even though I play Mutavault and I've always played Mutavault in things that I like a lot, it's not that pretty looking. Even though like the promo one for the GPs is kind of pretty, it's still not as pretty as a fucking Planeswalker like a Chandra. And my other one's a Goblin Rough Rider, so like I kind of want to replace it anyway, but it is red, so it would match the Chandra at the moment, so I decided to go with the Chandra. And yeah, I had to buy like 750 tickets at the end of the event from Wesley to actually do that goal. And it's funny, I was walking around with the card and some people are going like, woo, you did well. And I'm like, yeah, I did well opening my wallet. Obviously it would be cooler if I had like won it myself or whatever, which I am very much capable of if I had just grinded all weekend and it was like standard and I was actually in it to win it and knew what the fuck was going on in Magic at the time, but I was so rusty. I had such a good time though, you guys, like holy shit. Before we talk about the people that I encountered, the amazing people that I encountered that I have never encountered encountered in the Magic community before. Like, the event was just so much fun. Being there and playing Magic, it felt really good. I missed it so much, and that's why I've decided to actually get back into Magic. Jay and I are going to start drafting when the core set comes out, which is cool that they brought back the core set. Oh my god, I've been talking for so long, and I'm not cutting most of this out, so like, oh shit, it's going to be awful. So anyway, I met a lot of people who were really nice. Now, that's not a thing in the Seattle Magic community. I've been to a lot of big events like GPs, SCG Opens, PPTQs, PTQs, and stuff like that, and everyone who revolves around the like Vancouver, Portland, Seattle area outside of my group of friends, like at least 60% of them are fucking mean, angry, unhappy people who are not very nice, who take Magic too seriously, who are not happy with losing to someone who's not like a pro or something. There are a lot of like WotC, Wizards of the Coast, the publisher of Magic, employees hovering around. Obviously they can't play in the sanctioned events, but there's like a lot of just like really SJW-y, mean, unhappy people. Now, I watch Blonde in the Belly of the Beast, and I don't always agree with everything that she says, but she lives in Seattle as well, and she didn't hail from there like I did. Like, she didn't grow up there thinking that everyone there is like the norm and it's gonna be the same everywhere else in the country. When Blonde in the Belly of the Beast mentioned that she saw a profound difference between people from where she's from and people in Seattle just being miserable, it just like clicked in my head. I'm like, is it true? Is everyone in Seattle just fucking miserable? And that's probably a big reason why a lot of people in Seattle are so SJW and stuff, and like easily offended and always angry and taking things way too seriously and not able to have fun with something. I think it's because so many people there are just like so unhappy, and I don't know why. I'm not going to postulate as to why people are that way, but the experience that I had in Vegas, even though like Vegas is going to be like 90% not Las Vegans, I met people from Wisconsin. I saw way less people from Seattle, mainly only the people that I like that are serious, that are my friends. I met people from Iowa. I met people from all over the country, Arizona, and every single person felt like, wow, this could be a new friend of mine. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was so cordial. It didn't matter if they were like veterans of Magic and knew everything and were gonna like wreck my asshole, or if they were like really chill, nice people, like my first round opponent in the main event. He was like, this is my first time playing Modern. This is gonna be fun. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna crush him. And I did. But he was nice and it was fun and he wasn't butthurt about it. And it's just like so crazy to me how nice it was. Like, there were guys that Jay played against that like we ended up talking about a lot of cool stuff. Like, I was telling this guy named Bob how to get his girlfriend into Magic, and I was just basically kind of flirting with him and saying like, get a new girlfriend. There were more people in general who looked healthy and happy and fit and attractive and looked like they were actually having fun with the event, and I think it's because it wasn't just a Pacific Northwest mainly crowd with people from everywhere who just enjoyed a game and didn't have some weird political agenda or were always unhappy. And I'm gonna say this here in full transparency, I have never been discriminated against for my gender, ever in Magic. Not the way that I look, not my gender. There are people who actually know who I am on like YouTube and stuff, and they'll say like, oh, it's kind of hard to play against you because you're so hot. If you want to take that as sexism, you're fucking retarded. That person knows my demeanor and knows that that's not going to offend me or make me feel uncomfortable. I've never had anyone say, oh my god, lost to a girl, other than like me saying it about myself or to someone else in a group of friends. So I am not talking about any kind of discrimination. I don't see any discrimination in Magic. In fact, I see the weirdest fucking people in Magic and no one gives a fuck about them. There's like dudes in drag, clear transgenders all the time. Nobody cares about them. Nobody treats them like shit. Never seen it. People just are nice and cordial and genial about people's differences. But in general, irrespective of their differences, in Seattle specifically, all just assholes. So yeah, I thought that was a really interesting contrast, that when you get a bigger sample size of people farther away from the Wizards of the Coast main center, I've been saying it since I've moved here, people do generally seem happier here, and especially at the GP coming from all different places and backgrounds, than they do in Seattle. So while I miss the Seattle Magic scene to bits for my friends that I actually made there, and because it's very competitive, which I love it so much, like just jerk off to competitive Magic, like so fucking good. I just wanted to highlight that there were some cool people that I met at the GP. There were 6 people, I think, that I met at the GP also that knew who I was, and that was really cool. I played against a guy who had actually played League with me on one of the viewer game days before, and he was like, holy shit, you are Tara Babcock, when the like slip that has our name on it came, and he was like really cool about it, and he had me sign something. There was a guy who just walked by my table and was like, love your work. There were guys that I've seen before that I met at Magic tournaments and stuff, and I don't know, it just felt really nice, really welcoming. It was great to meet some of you guys based on common interests There were a few people that I met there that didn't even know I play Magic, and they're like, oh my god, you're the YouTuber, right? And it made me have a little more faith in humanity, which is gonna be the next topic that I'm gonna go into, I think right now, because it's been like 30 minutes. Holy shit, hopefully I can cut out enough stuff here. So the next thing that I want to talk about is what I did with my friends, which is gonna segue into thoughts and introspection about how I view my relationships with other people, and the fact that I just haven't been keeping them up and haven't been even like wanting to hang out with people. I've been very introverted and very misanthropic, and just like some days I'm feeling like, oh my god, smart people don't have many friends because they don't see any purpose in it, and friends are usually there to just like take the place of like not having hobbies or any intellectual pursuits or improving yourself. And then me thinking like, that's dumb. I can like dumb down a little bit. I know this is gonna sound really conceited. Having some dumb ass fun getting drunk sometimes is a nice outlet for your frustration. So what I did with friends, Wesley came down a little bit earlier. He knew it was Jay's birthday. Wesley used to be one of our like best friends. If you like go back in my videos, I had a lot of issues with him. We clash a lot, but he's also one of those people that I can be around like 24/7. Well, I used to be able to be around 24/7, and I felt very comfortable with him. It was kind of like an extension of Jay and I, like a Three Musketeers type thing, and we were like that for a couple years. We would go to all the Magic tournaments. We would hang out all the time. He would come over to the house, and we were able to just like chill and stuff. And so I was thinking, yeah, he can stay at my house like the first night. The first night he came in was Wednesday. Thursday was the first day of the event. And Wednesday night, we went to Little Darlings, which is a strip club off the strip. It's a fully nude club, and I wanted to take Jay to a strip club for his birthday, so we went there. Wesley had to change because he was wearing all of the things except for the do-rags and gangwear that you cannot take into a strip club. So he changes in the back of the car, and then we go in, and we're like, watch, oh my god, so much funny shit happened at that strip club. It was really nice. We got a hookah table. We were sitting there. I don't usually like smoke hookah because it's like bad for your lungs and shit, but I was like, fuck it, you know, like once in a blue moon, meaning like once in 5 years is not gonna hurt me that much, and if it does a little bit, like whatever, dude. And we were watching the strippers, and we were giving them money, and we were giving ones. Thank you, mom. I know you're gonna be watching this video, but my mom every year gives me the amount of ones for the age that I turned. So I had like 28 ones, 27 ones, 26 ones, 25 ones. I was the one queen there. And then I had brought like $200 worth of 20s as well for like lap dances and stuff. So this girl comes on stage that Wesley really likes. She's a thicker girl, I think Hispanic. I think she was Hispanic. And she had these like big natural tits that weren't like the worst natural tits I've ever seen. I'm not a huge fan of natural tits, as you guys know, but Wesley was like enthralled with her instantly. So we're sitting at the edge of stage one, and she comes up to Wesley and grabs his hands and puts them on her tits, and he's like, oh yeah, and he does this like really dumb looking face when he's grabbing titties that's like, oh, it's like really cringy. So he's enjoying her titties, and then he, for some god-awful reason, and she's completely naked, like I said, Little Darlings is completely naked, he just goes for the pussy. He just goes for the pussy, and she just like hits his hand and scolds him like a little dog or something. If she was less cool, her name, by the way, Little Darlings, her name is, so her name was Jennifer. If you go to Little Darlings in Vegas and you ask for Jennifer, you will get the girl with the nice real tits who has the best personality in the place by far. And then he goes and gets a dance with her, and she actually comes like in the middle of the night and actually sits with us and talks with us, and she's like the coolest person with like the chillest personality, and I'm absolutely loving hanging out with her, so shout outs to her. We watched her dance twice on stage, gave her a bunch of tips and stuff. They do this crazy thing where they like slap the sides of their hips on the stage, and it like makes their ass jiggle and look really nice, but oh my god, does it look painful. And so we were asking her like, is this painful? She's like, no, you gotta learn how to do it. And then there's this girl, small, petite, not big boobs, but a really nice ass and nice body otherwise, girl that comes on the stage and dances, and this is Jay's favorite girl. She has a top knot and looks a lot like Ariana Grande. Jay got a lap dance from her. She took him back to the back room, and like usually she's only like a VIP chick, and I can't believe they charge $400 for like an hour-long dance where you lay on a bed and take off your shirt and they kiss you and like basically just simulate sex without actually simulating sex. Now, every other girl in that strip club, there were some like hotter ones. There weren't any like atrocious looking ones, but they all looked like they wanted to die. Like they did not look like they were enjoying their job, whereas Jennifer, Wesley's girl, was definitely looking like she was enjoying her job. So that was cool. The thing that I noticed is like when I consented to having Wesley stay the night over at our house, like I didn't realize how quickly I would get sick of him again. Like I thought I miss him a lot. I haven't seen him for a while. It's going to be really easy to take all of his little quirks and annoyances and just have him stay the night. But at one point I was like, oh God, Jay, we got to get rid of him. And I don't mean it like I fucking hate him. It's just like I wanted my alone time with Jay to like cuddle and hang out and fuck and not be around Wesley's shenanigans, you know? Then on Thursday night, which was the night after like the first very chill day of the GP, we take Wesley over to the penthouse, which is like an Airbnb like right across the street from the convention center, which was really ghetto looking on the outside, like so fucking ghetto. But for some reason, everyone thought it was nice. I don't know. It's called the penthouse, but it was like really not that nice in my opinion. And we walk in there and it's all of Wesley's friends that he acquired after hanging out with Jay and I, and we kind of like dissolving our like very close friendship. But there were a lot of people that I really liked. Like there's this one guy, Sean. He's like this skinny metrosexual, like I think he's Iranian, but he looks really Asian or like Filipino or something. Kind of cute, you know, but still a little too metrosexual, weighs less than me. So, you know, there's that. But he and Jay have the best conversations and I love watching him have conversations. And then there are a few other people there that I just do not like. Wesley has the knack for making friends with people who are just the most unlikable people ever. And like all these people work for Microsoft. They have jobs where they make like more than me and they're like very well off. So they like to do like really bougie, annoying shit that I don't like to do. But Sean, I love Sean. So it was really nice to see him. I'm like, yay. And I hugged him. And then we hung out there a little bit. We went out to eat at this restaurant called Firefly Tapas. I'd never had tapas before. That was pretty cool. And the other person that I was really excited to see there was Casey. Casey's like a 20-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid. I had known him since he was like 15 or 16. And it's really nice to hang out with Casey where he's not like fucking complete jailbait. So like I'm sitting with him, we're talking about like his curved dick. We're having a great time. I had like one pina colada and I was fucking wasted. The tapas were really good, but it wasn't like a restaurant that I would want to go to. Then we went home. Then we were late for the GP. Then after the GP, what I did with my friends, we met with this guy, Martin, who is another friend of Sean's and Wesley's that I like a lot. And we went to the Yard House and it took us forever to get there. And what we did to get there was very illegal, but I'm going to say it here on the video because I don't feel like anyone's going to press any charges after the fact, but we'll never do it again. I promise. Please, authorities, you can handcuff me. I'm completely fine with that. I've always wanted to be handcuffed by a very handsome policeman. But we have a 4-seater basically because in the back, there's like a console in the middle. It's an RX-8. You guys can look that up to see what kind of car that is. And we wanted to bring 5 people over to Yard House to meet with Martin, who already had a seat for us. Now, I had promised this guy Thomas, who I barely knew, but got to know pretty well. He's a really cool kid. He's only 18. I had promised him I would Uber with him if we couldn't fit Wesley, the tallest, biggest person in the group. He's like 6'4" and like over 200 pounds in the trunk. And we did it. Here is a picture commemorating that clusterfuck of illegalness. So we took the wrong turn. We went to the wrong fucking Yard House and we finally made it to the Yard House. Martin was down on his second half yard, which is like a giant fucking thing of beer. We drank a little bit, we played Magic, and everyone at the table except for Martin, which was really cool, ate vegetarian. The thing I love about Yard House is they have the Gardein section, which is all vegetarian and all the meat tastes exactly like meat. It's really fucking good. And it was cool that Wesley, Casey, Jay, like always, Thomas was vegetarian, and we all ate a vegetarian portion, and that was really cool. Then we decided to go over to my house, which I was a little apprehensive about having people over because my house is so fucking nice. But at the same time, we have Eve. I have to make sure that no one gets drunk and lets Eve out. And also, I have to make sure that no one's like puking all over this house that I really don't want people puking all over because that would be fucking gross. But I was like, fuck it. These are like some of my favorite people in Seattle. I never get to see them. I won't see them again probably for another year. So we invite them over. But what we do instead of doing the super illegal thing with putting Wesley in the trunk, and we also had Martin this time, so it just wasn't feasible, is me, Casey, and Thomas decide to Uber back to the house. And Wesley, Martin, and Jay decide to go to Walmart to pick up some alcohol. We get to the house. Jay gets to the house with the alcohol. Martin just immediately starts like pouring stuff all over the floor, like making bartending drinks. He's like already gone. He's got a vape pen full of weed, and we all get super drunk, save the underaged Thomas. And we get into the hot tub. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of blur. But the thing that I realized is that I do not like being around Wesley or Martin when they're drunk. Martin was doing the most ridiculous shit. He was literally so gone that he was like, la, 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 like thought he was talking to someone, like literally like that. Like I'm not just saying that he was slurring his words. He was just like, blah, blah, like making noises. Like, it made no sense. At no one. Like, looking like he's talking to someone and just making noises. And then he would randomly say shit like, I see you and you guys are just faggots. Just calling like everyone just like faggots. And usually he's like such a like nice guy who's kind of almost a little bit on the SJW side. And he's just like sitting there like calling us faggots. It was really weird. You had to be there. It was like the fucking weirdest experience. I knew he was gonna be like a complete crazy drunk, but I didn't know like how much. The thing that really pissed me off though about Wesley, right, is we all went outside. I put Eve in the bedroom so that she couldn't get out. And Wesley like twice tried to open the screen door and then the bedroom door to let Eve out, and then like, I swear to God, playing as if like, oh, I thought that's where I was supposed to go. Now, granted, he was really drunk, but sometimes I feel like the dumb, fucked up shit he does is like on purpose to sabotage me and he has something against me. I don't know, that's how I felt. So I was really pissed off at him. And then, to top it off, Wesley climbs the brick wall in my fucking backyard and proceeds to start to try to pee into my neighbor's backyard. We are renting here. I love it here. We're already screaming faggot at the top of our lungs on a Saturday night in the backyard when everyone else's fucking houses look completely black. Everyone's trying to sleep, I'm sure. It's not like a party area or whatever. I'm like, Wesley, get the fuck down. Wesley, get the fuck down. And Jay, I've never seen Jay act like this. Jay is the most laid back person ever. Like, he might not look it. He might be buff and like scary with a beard, lumberjack looking guy, but he was like, Wesley, get the fuck down. I've never seen him like that. Like, it was such a turn on to see him actually like handle shit instead of being like, yeah, Tara, it's not a big deal. Like, that's funny. There was a time with Jay when I was in LA and there was this guy like just would not stop hitting on me at the bar. And I was there with Red too. You guys know Red if you watch my stream. And Red and Jay both just thought it was the funniest thing. And I was like, can you guys come in and like interject? And they just thought it was funny. And they actually like encouraged it. And then there was another time Jay and I were actually monogamously dating at the beginning of our relationship, and we were at, I think, Pain in the Grass or something. Like, we were seeing Slipknot live and some other people, and some guy goes like, I love your MySpace, can I get a kiss on the cheek? And my dumb ass did it, and he turned, kissed me straight on the lips, and I'm like, oh my God, you're such an ass. And Jay just thought it was the funniest thing ever. So that is like, in a nutshell, like Jay's response to most things. But he was pissed at Wesley, like fucking around with our like ability to live here. So then I take Wesley inside and I make him pee like where he's supposed to pee, which is like so fucking, oh, that was the most annoying thing of the night, to be honest. Like, I don't like him drunk or high, and he was just like spouting nonsense. I like to get pretty drunk, and it's not mainly for like the release of the inhibitions. It's more about like getting everyone else to release inhibitions. I'm pretty much just like a ramped up version of Tara. If you've ever seen any of my live streams or drunk streams or anything, I say what's on my mind still. There's no real inhibitions there. There's no real change in personality. But for some people, they get so gone that they're like spouting nonsense, they're throwing up, they're being ridiculous. I don't like that. I like someone who can just drink a little bit, to be a little more, you know, sexually suggestive and stuff, and, you know, just have more fun. Loosen up, don't hurt your health, you know? But like Martin and Wesley, like, the cool thing though was Thomas like took control, dude. Like, Thomas was giving us water, he was bringing in the towels, he was cleaning up a little bit. He called it, well, Casey called an Uber, but Casey and I were sitting on the couch after we came inside and waiting for the Uber, and he was showing me this like weird ass porn with like one of those like tentacle dildos, but it actually like lays eggs in your vagina. And then it was like a whole production where the woman waited 6 months and then she like just pooped out these like weird alien eggs. It was fucking weird. And we were talking about having a threesome with him and his girlfriend, who's like a super hot Asian. He always dates Asians. And it was really nice to see those guys. And I don't know, if any of you guys watched this, I had a good time and I miss you guys already. And I hope to see you guys in LA for the next GP. And I wish we could do this more often. I really wish I could transplant this house into Seattle, not make it cost $1 million, have all of the nice stuff about Vegas, but the weather of Seattle, and not the depressing people that I don't like. I want to have like a best of both worlds where I'm closer to my parents, and I don't know, that would be pretty cool. But the next day, I'm pretty sure there wasn't much going on. So Wesley, Jay, and we went and caught up with Sean and the guys, and we ate at this place across from the convention center at the hotel. I don't remember what it's called. Was it a Mexican restaurant? I'm not sure. No, it was an Italian restaurant. An Italian restaurant across. It's like a hotel that's attached to the convention center. And we had a nice little conversation. We talked about like philosophy, and we talked about how impulsive Sean is, and all of these things that maybe I shouldn't be repeating with their first name. names actually available, but I don't think they would mind. We just talked about some stuff. I really like the conversations that I have with Sean and that Jay has with Sean, and it was nice. It was entertaining. And then they had to catch a flight, and it was really sad because I didn't get to say goodbye to Thomas like at all. I got to say goodbye to Casey like 20 times. I like hugged him like 10 times. I'm like, oh my God, I hope to see you again soon and all that stuff. And then after that, we took Wesley to the gym, and that was really fun. I had a lot of fun with that. Wesley like actually tried to keep up with Jay. He learned some stuff at the gym. We got to show him our like really cool gym that we go to now, and it was a lot of fun. I really do miss having those people around, even though sometimes Wesley feels like he's more trouble than he's worth at times. And it made me start to feel like maybe I do want to incorporate like making time for friends. How I always feel the opportunity cost goes with hanging out with friends is like, I have so much to do between the 2 channels and the streaming. I would always rather just spend time with Jay on the couch alone playing like a video game than I would like going out and hanging out with friends. But the experience this weekend with the socialization that I got with the cool people that I met at the GP and everything like that, it was just so much fun to the point where I was like, sometimes I will dumb down my schedule and make room. And like during the GP, I decided like, okay, I haven't been consistent with my upload schedule. YouTube's giving me strikes. I'm just going to take this time off until the end of Jay's birthday to just spend time with my friends, to play Magic, and to spend time with Jay. And I'm not going to worry about uploads or like saying no to things because I don't have time to do them because I'm worried about my work or whatever. My work gives me much more fulfillment. And when I say work, I mean it like colloquially. Like obviously this is what I do for a living, but I don't consider it more than just self-actualization, an outlet for artistic and sexual creativity, and just like doing what I want with my life. It's definitely more than a job to me. It's like a lifestyle. It's what I love to do. But I feel like I'm gonna make the conscious effort to sometimes try to hang out with people more often and hang out with the people who have always been there for me, like the Seattle Magic group, where I just enjoy hanging out with them. So that brings me to a day after Jay's birthday. One of our mutual friends who lives here, whose name is Eric, he's a Magic pro, invited us over to hang out and just to like do like a barbecue type thing, right? The whole day leading up to it, I was waiting for the AC guy to come because for some reason in Jay's stream room, where it gets the hottest always, because Jay has like the giant rig and then he has the fucking mining rig there too, like the AC just doesn't blow there. It's ridiculous. So Jay's room will become like 90 degrees, almost like as bad as Seattle was without the AC. And then the rest of the house is like 76 or something, which is like the nice temperature here. So we were waiting on the guy that was supposed to come between 4 and 5. And I wanted to get to the thing. The thing started at 2 at Eric's house. Eric and Athena are the 2 people, and I've been friends with them for a while. I like them both. I consider them to be like one of the top best friends, people that I enjoy spending a lot of time with. But they do have a caveat. I randomly feel like I'm gonna offend them with my views. I like having political and social views different from a lot of my friends so that I can have an open discussion. But sometimes there are people, and I'm gonna be completely honest here, sometimes there are people who feel like if I just say the wrong word or I phrase something the wrong way, like they're gonna hate me all of a sudden. Then all this time I invested in friendship, and that doesn't make me want to change the things that I say or the way that I act. I only care about friends who are gonna like love me for me and understand my intentions, are not to like offend someone or hurt someone's feelings. I'm a libertarian. I want everyone to do whatever makes them feel happy, and I want to empower people to not fall into the trap of like social justice. I want people to take responsibility for their own mental health. So if they're insecure about something, basically I hold people responsible for their own mental health. And sometimes I get the vibe, and it's probably unwarranted, but sometimes I get the vibe that at any point I could say something that's offensive, that's just a joke, or I can try to have a conversation that's a little bit deeper, and I might like make them feel like instead of my intentions just being having a conversation, like I'm just like venting here because it's a little bit stressful to feel like I love these people. These people are my friends. I like these people. I want to get closer to these people. And then to maybe just have that all go away because of something I tweet on Twitter or something, you know? I went off on a tangent there. But the guy didn't show up until like 5:30 or something. Oh, and I had to go to the fucking P.O. box too to pick up my stuff for Friday Night Mail. So I was like really annoyed at that point, and I was like, I still want to go. And I was texting Eric and I'm like, is anyone still there? Like I still want to come over. Like he's always invited me to these things, these game nights. And we used to live like a long ways away from him. Even though we lived in Vegas, he would always like joke, I seen you as much moving here or living here as I have when you lived in Seattle and I lived here. I was like, this weekend has been amazing. I'm going to make a concerted effort to connect with the people that I feel like I actually can connect with, these people that I like a lot. So going there with all the Magic pros, just hanging out and barbecuing, I thought would be a little bit scary. Okay, obviously I play Magic and Jay plays Magic, but Magic pros are on a different level of like, sometimes you feel like they're gonna start acting like, you don't know shit about Magic, you're not a pro, like you're just a rando, why is this person even here? I got there and Eric made me this like grilled cheese with like some random soup that was like really half-assly made, but it was like so good because like half-assly made standard shit that's really consistent is just like my food, you know, it's like my junk food. And grilled cheese, whew, that's my shit. Everyone knows this. So at first we're sitting on the couch and Athena had to like work or something, so she was upstairs. And I was sitting on the couch with Eric and the rest of the Magic pros were finishing up like a wacky draft or something. Jay was sitting across from me and oh my god, Eric's dogs are so amazing. I love them so much. It's amazing. Like, oh, like I got mauled and raped by their bigger dog. As soon as I walked in, he's like, I'm like laying on the floor in like a long dress and he's just like on top of me, licking my face, like putting his whole 90 pounds of body on me. And it was just like the best experience ever being raped and molested by a dog. I loved it so much. It almost makes me want to get a dog, but then I remember that they're a lot more work than a cat and Eve is the best thing ever. And I would never want to bring another animal into the house that I don't 100% know that Eve's gonna like. So at first it was like a little slow. Like I don't mind. I feel bad for Jay, you know, like the day after his birthday and he's just like sitting on the couch watching like some Magic that for a set he doesn't really know that well, like Dominaria. I'm just like talking with Eric and I had a drink that Athena had made me. I'm just like chilling and I'm like, this is nice. The guys finish their draft and then they come over and they're watching. So we're watching this league that Athena works on, right? So she's working upstairs behind the scenes and we're just watching this league or whatever. And I barely know what's going on because MTGO has like a really shitty font and I don't know the set. So we're just watching and they're talking and like we're warming up to stuff and everyone was really nice to Jay. That's always like the main measure of whether or not I'm gonna like someone is if they kind of just dismiss Jay as like, oh, I'm gonna be competitive with this guy, I don't like this asshole, like from the start, or if they're really nice to him. And everyone was like really nice to him and we got a little bit, you know, more comfy with each other. The league ended and then we decided to play this game called Codename, which I had never heard before, which was so much fun. Okay, so I'm not gonna say any extra names just for the sake of like, I'm not trying to start any drama or whatever, and this guy has a girlfriend, but there was a Magic pro there, the only Magic pro I would actually consider like fucking. He's pretty cute. And I was starting to get a little tipsy. So when he was like trying to teach me how to play Codename, I was like really enjoying it. And in Codename, I don't know if you guys have played this before, but you line up a bunch of like squares and then there's one person on each team that has to kind of try to make people say the correct, it's like a battleship, you know, where you want to land on the right words in order to get points for your team and not get points for the other team by like blowing up your own ship or some shit. Yeah, you get the gist. It's really hard to explain without just like doing. It's very easy to do and learn rather than just explaining it. I volunteered to be like the shot caller person on the team with the guy that I have a little bit of a crush on. And I'm like sitting next to him and I'm getting a little tipsy and I'm like, I'm liking this. And I'm just like giggling like crazy and I have no poker face. And it was just a lot of fun. Everyone there was getting drunk. Except for, I think, like Eric and Jay, because Jay doesn't drink. And it makes me sad because all of the Magic pros that I finally now am comfortable with, that I don't feel like I'm totally out of place around, like they all used to live around here and then moved away. So like no more game nights unless there's like a GP or something that brings them down here. But afterwards, oh God, I've been, this is going to be another topic, the next topic probably. But afterwards, I messaged the guy, and since I'm on my computer, I can actually pull it up. I messaged the guy that I have a little bit of a crush on. And I was like, it was nice hanging with you. You're kind of sexy. And then I put in parentheses, I'm still drunk. And then I said, move back to Vegas. And then he says, nice meeting you too. I'm in a relationship, but I appreciate the compliment. God, I love guys that are just like straightforward. Like, I don't really care if guys cheat on their girlfriends. Obviously, that's their prerogative. But I hate guys who like are deceptive about it. Like they don't tell me they have a girlfriend or something like that. I would rather you just be like, hey, I got a girlfriend. I appreciate it. Like that guy that worked at my old apartment building that I was like, hey, we should fuck. And he's like, I'm in a long distance relationship, but oh my God, you made my day. Like stuff like that it's really nice. I like that. Like stand your ground. Tell me what's up. Don't lead me on. Don't like lie to me and then feel bad and then blame me for like cheating on your girlfriend. This is a tangent again. It was a really nice night where I felt a lot of sexual tension with a dude I had a crush on. So thanks guys for a good night. Also, Athena gave me this, which I talked about it in my Friday night mail, but this has like elevated my life. Like, oh my God, it's so cool. I can hold my phone without holding my phone. I can take like ass selfies and shit that I could never take before, which is really fucking cool. So thank you, Athena. Your gorgeous face has made my phone so much better. I think we've kind of covered the friendship thing. The main point is that I used to think it wasn't worth it. Now I'm thinking that here and there, maintaining friendships and spending time with people and having a good time, I want to make an effort to do that. And that is one of the reasons why I want to make an effort to go to more GPs and play in more Magic tournaments and get back into Magic. So I'm excited for that. Expect more Magic content probably, and expect more stories about how I'm, hitting on Magic nerds, and it's just gonna be fun. So let's see what's next on the agenda, because we're like an hour into this. Oh my god. So I've been super fucking horny lately, you guys. Like, it's another one of those fucking phases that I tell you guys about where I am just like, oh my god, which didn't help me because I'm hanging around guys that I like a little bit. It's just fun to flirt with everyone. So it's been a really nice outlet, but it's also been really frustrating to me. While I was spending time with people in real life that I could actually have sex with, I was also not doing the stuff that relieves my sexual tension and makes me a little less horny. Like, obviously I'm having sex like every day with Jay, which I would die without it. Like, I would be like sleeping with literally everybody. My body count would not be 10 now. It would be like fucking 5 million. No, okay. I would be choosy still, but I would definitely have sex with friends just because I needed that sexual contact and that release or whatever. But you guys are an amazing release to me for my horniness. And when I don't make videos, when I don't like talk about sex or do Fan Service Friday, which I kind of half-assed last week and didn't do anything sexual in it, if I don't have that artistic, sexual, creative release that I've had with modeling and then with being like a sex education teacher or talking about my sexual experiences or how I feel and just being sexy and like getting ready for something, and it's like a mutual benefit for me to do that because I get such pent-up sexual frustration, especially hanging around with a bunch of guys that are like married or dating someone that I can't sleep with, that I want to sleep with. Not that there were a bunch this weekend, but the one. Doing the Fan Service Friday and everything was really nice. I felt so sexy during that Fan Service Friday, the last one that I did in the shower. It was so nice. And I think one of the reasons, other than having more human interaction or interaction with males and stuff, one of the reasons that I've been more horny lately is because I'm actually making changes, positive changes to my body. So I wanted to update you guys on my fitness journey, and it's been fucking great. Like, I am always improving, but this is one of the things that I've been held back on. I've been holding myself back on for so long now, and just feeling the changes and seeing like I've only lost like 3 or 4 pounds since I told you guys that I lost like 8 pounds or something. So I'm only down like 10, 12 pounds or something like that. But I've been weight training rather than doing like a ton of cardio and then trying not to eat and stuff. I've been just weight training and then doing cardio like once a week. Oh my God, the body changes. Like coming up on GP Vegas, I was sad that I wasn't like this perfect svelte, like you guys haven't seen me in a while, look at my abs or whatever, and like being able to like get in a bikini and feel sexy. But I felt so sexy because my body was changing for the better, because like I now look fitter. Like my legs are held in a certain way and my waist has this shape, and I'm losing like the little pudge that I had on the front of my stomach that I was developing, which I've never had before in my life. I've always had a like flat stomach. Even if it was soft, it was flat. I'm seeing the fruits of all of my labor, and I just felt so good this weekend. I was like, I actually like put an effort into having like cute hair every day, and like, I don't know, guys, I think I'm hornier because I'm feeling sexier, because I'm making progress, because I'm feeling healthier. I am an avid proponent of getting fit. Even if you're really far from your goal, just like seeing any progress makes you feel so much better. Being fit makes the sex so much better. Oh my God. So much more stamina, endurance, libido is like like I needed my libido to go through the roof. No, I didn't. But yeah, it's going through the roof for sure. So I just want to let you guys know, yeah, I'm horny as fuck, and I'm getting there, and I'm feeling sexy, and I'm liking trying things on, and I'm loving doing Fan Service Friday, and it's been fucking amazing. Okay, last thing I want to talk about in this little recap of last week before I go is this weird thing that Eve did in front of people this week, which freaked me the fuck out. Oh my God, you guys. I'm like less worried now. If you guys have any insights on this, please do let me know if you've ever seen this before. I Googled so much and I still don't know what the fuck. It can't be anything that I see when I Google. And then I called the vet, and the new vet around here, she was like a bitch. She was like, well, unless it happens often, whatever. And I'm like, I shouldn't like bring her in just to like check her out or whatever. And she's like, well, whatever. And I just want to like kill myself. It didn't seem like she cared about my pet, Whereas the last place I went, anytime I brought Eve in, they're like, Eve, oh my god, she's gotten so big, she's so cute, she's on a leash, oh my god, and they like loved her. Clearly they cared about her. Bad first experience with the vet. But so what happened was Wesley came over the first night he was here, and he was petting Eve, and he was adoring Eve, and Eve likes like most people, unless you smell like a cat. She likes dogs, she likes people, she doesn't really like cats. I don't know why. I'm sure we could get her to like a cat, but Wesley was just playing with her, and she was like loving him and hanging out with him, and we were playing magic upstairs on the magic table where I do my F&Ms now. She was just looking at Wesley, and like Wesley was going like bah, and like making like baby faces at her or something, and she just starts like foaming from the mouth, and I'm like, what is happening? She's just like just like foam, like she's rabid or something, and she's like, and I was like, she swallowed a dye. That was the first thing that popped into my head. So I grab her by the neck and I shove my finger down her throat, trying to get this like dye out of her throat, because I'm like, oh my god, it's the first time we're playing magic at the house, and we left a dye around, she ate it, I'm sure, and I'm thinking she's dying, and then she just like pulls away from me, and then she runs away, and then she stops, and we like wipe her face, and everything goes back to normal. What the fuck was that? And so I'm like Googling, I'm monitoring her, I'm feeding her to make sure she can like swallow properly. Everything online says like, there was one place that said anxiety or excitement can do this. But like, she's been around people so many times before, and she's been around like little girls at the pet store. Like people, I went to Ulta with her on a leash once, and people were like swarming us and like asking to pet her, and everything was fine. And then all of a sudden she sees Wesley, and like Wesley, the retarded ass, and Jay are both like, Jay was worried too, but Wesley was like, well, I was sticking my tongue out, so maybe she was sticking her tongue out too and like imitating me, and that's what? No! I was really worried, and we monitored her, and I was just about ready to fucking take her to the emergency vet when, like, I decided that we'll just watch her. Then, come the night when Casey and Thomas take the Uber home with me, we go inside, and Casey's playing with her. Casey's literally, like, taking selfies and sending them to his girlfriend on Snapchat, like, oh, me and Eve. And they're, like, hanging out, and Eve, once again, is nowhere near anything that she can eat. This is 2 days later, foaming at the mouth. Casey's like, what the fuck, Eve? What the fuck? It was like, oh, stressful. So I follow her downstairs because she shoots downstairs, and I'm like, baby, what's wrong? Baby, what's wrong? Why are you doing this around people? Like, I don't understand. I'm Googling it more. Casey's Googling it. Thomas is Googling it. We can't figure it out. I don't know. Then the rest of the night, we have more people over. Everyone's drunk. Everyone's loud. Everyone's screaming faggot. And she doesn't do it ever again. And she's fine. And she hasn't done it since. And I am very confused. She does it once when she meets a new specific person she likes, that she wants to like rub up against and hang out with and let's, you know, pick her up and stuff. It's crazy foaming at the mouth. Like crazy. I wish I had filmed it once just so I could like show the vet or whatever, but it's very concerning. I want to take her in soon and get her like checked out just for like health and well-being, because it's like, what the fuck was that? I don't even understand. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any insights into any of this, how you feel about hanging with friends, how you feel about being hornier when you feel fitter or when you spend more time with people who are attractive to you. Do you play Magic? What deck do you play? What fucking formats do you play? Are you excited for M19 like I am? Life is interesting right now, and I'm very glad I got to sit down in my computer chair and just talk to you guys like we're on stream. I was supposed to stream with Red tonight, but it's 1:44. It's looking like it's not gonna happen. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the footage from GP Vegas. Oh, if you got through this whole thing and you didn't use the timestamps at all, please say the words Bengal Booty 911. Bengal Booty, like Bengal like the tiger. Bengal Booty 911. That's what you gotta say if you got through this whole fucking rambly ass video. And please let me know your thoughts. I really enjoy just like word vomiting at you, and if it's like a release of endorphins to feel like, oh, I've talked to my diary that is my closest friends in the world, which is you guys. I feel like you guys are like my literal friends, my only connection to the outside world besides Jay and like a few acquaintances that I rarely see, that I don't even enjoy spending time with up until now-ish. It's been nice to talk to you guys, and I'm happy to be back. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know if you liked the timestamps. Hopefully they were helpful. And hopefully nothing fucks up with this. I've never like recorded a long video before on OBS. We shall see. Bye guys.